Hi guys and welcome back. I'm in the countryside today and tomorrow. It's much pleasant and sunny outside. So having fun here and never stop with reading. So let's continue. So tell me as soon as you have finished, said Johnsy, closing her eyes and lying white and still as a fallen statue, because I want to see the last one fall. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of thinking. I want to turn loose my hold on everything and go sailing down, down, just like one of those poor tired leaves. Try to sleep, said Sue. I must call Bahram, Baherman, Baherman. I must call Baherman up to be my model for the old hermit miner. I'll not be gone in a minute. Don't try to move till I come back. Old Baherman, bah, Baherman was a painter who lived in the ground floor beneath them. He was past 60 and had a Michelangelo's Moses beard curling down from the head of a satyr along the body of an imp. Behram Beherman was a failure in art. 40 years he had wielded the brush without getting near enough to touch the hem of his mistress' robe. He had been always about to paint a masterpiece, but had never yet begun it. For several years he had painted nothing except now and then a daub in the line of commerce or advertising. He earned a little by serving as a model to those young artists in the colony who could not pay the price of a professional. He drank gin to excess and still talked to his coming masterpiece. For the rest he was a fierce little old man who scoffed terribly at softness in anyone, and who regarded himself as a special master in waiting to protect the two young artists in the studio above. So you found Beherman smelling strongly of a juniper berries in his dimly lighted den below. In one corner was a blank canvas on an easel that had been waiting there for 25 years to receive the first line of the masterpiece. She told him of Jones's fancy and how she feared she would indeed, light and fragile as a leaf herself, float away when her slight hold upon the world grew weaker. Old Beherman, with his eyes plainly streaming, with her red eyes plainly streaming, shouted his contempt and derision for such idiotic imaginings. Idiotic imaginings. Was, he cried, is there people in the world made their foolishness to die because leaves they drop off from a confounded vine? I haven't heard of such a thing. No, I will not pose as a model for you, full hermit dunderhead. Why do you allow that silly pisciness to come in there praying of her? Act door poor little Miss Yonsey. She's very ill and weak, said Hugh, and the fever has left her mind. And the fear and the fever has left her mind morbid and full of strange fancies. Very well, Mr. Behrman. If you don't care to pose for me, you needn't. But I think you are a horrid old Fibberty Gibbet. You're just like a woman, yelled Behrman. Who said I will not booze? Go on, I come with you. For half an hour I have been trying to say that I'm ready to booze. God, this is this is not any blaze, and which one so good as Miss Young's shell lie stick. Some day I will blend a masterpiece, and we shall all go away. God, yes. Jonesy was sleeping when they went upstairs. She pulled the shade down to the window sill and motioned Behrman into the other room. In there they peered out the window fearfully at the ivy one. Then they looked at each other for a moment without speaking. A persistent cold rain was falling, mingled with snow. Behrman, in his old blue shirt, took his seat as the hermit miner on the upturned kettle for a rock. Once you awoke from an hour's sleep, the next morning she found Jonesy with dull, wide open eyes staring at the drawn green shade. Pull it up. I want to see, she ordered in a whisper. Wearily Sue obeyed. But lo, after the beating rain and fierce gusts of wind that had endured through the livelong night, there yet stood out against the brick wall one evil leaf. It was the last on the vine, still dark green near its stem, but with its serrated edges tinted with the yellow of dissolution and decay. It hung bravely from a branch some 20 feet above the ground. It is the last one, said Jonesy. I thought I would surely fall during the night. I heard the wind. It will fall today, and I shall die at the same time. Dear, dear, said Sue, leaning her worn face down to the pillow. Think of me if you won't think of yourself. What would I do? but Jonesy didn't answer. The lonesomest thing in all the world is a soul when it is making ready to go on its mysterious far journey. The fancy seemed to possess her more strongly, as by one the ties that bound her to friendship and to earth were loosed. The day wore away, and even though the twilight they could see the lone ivy leaf clinging, clinging to its stem against the wall. And then, when the coming of the night, the north wind was again loosed, while the rain still beat against the window and pattered down from the low Dutch eaves. When it was light enough, Jonesy, the merciless, commanded that the shade be raised. The ivy leaf was still there. Jonesy lay for a long time looking at it, and then she called to Sue, who was stirring her chicken broth over the gas stove. I've been a bad girl, Sue, said Jonesy. Something has made that last leaf stay there to show me that how wicked I was. It's it's a sin to want to die. You may bring me a little broth now, and some milk, with a little port in it. And no, bring me a hand mirror first, and then pack some pillows about me, and I will sit up and watch you cook. An hour later she said, Sooty, someday I hope to paint the Bay of Naples. The doctor came in the afternoon. The doctor came came in the afternoon, and Sue had an excuse to go into the hallway as he left. Even chances, said the doctor, talking to Sue's thing, shaking hand in his. With good nursing, you're all win. And now I must see another case I have downstairs. Becherman, his name, some kind of an artist, I believe. Pneumonia, too. He's an old, weak man, and the attack is acute. There is no hope for him, but he goes to the hospital today to be made more comfortable. The next day the doctor said to Sue, she is out of danger. You won. Nutrition and care now, that's all. And that afternoon Sue came to the bed where Jonesy lay, contentedly knitting a very blue and very useless woolen shoulder scarf, and put one arm around her, pillows and all. I have to tell something. I have to tell. I have something to tell you, White Mouse, she said. Mr. Becherman died of pneumonia today in the hospital. He was ill only 2 days. The janitor found him on the morning of the first day in his room downstairs, helpless with pain. His shoes and clothing were wet through it, though through and icy cold. They couldn't imagine where he had been on such dreadful night. And then they found a lantern, still lighted, and a ladder that had been dragged from it its place and some scattered brushes, and a palette with the green and yellow colors mixed on it, and look out the window, dear, at the last I will leave on the wall. Didn't you wonder? Did not you wonder why it never fluttered or moved when the wind blew? Oh, darling, it's Behrman masterpiece. He painted in there the last night that the last leaf fell. Poor Behrman. Thank you guys for listening to me today and see you tomorrow on the next story. Bye.